Thank you so much for joining today. A very good evening to all of you. Today, we will learn further in detail about how the Scrum planning happens and what are the roles and responsibilities of each individual from the Scrum team. Okay, everyone, can you see the image on my screen? Is it
Yes.
visible? Okay, let me enlarge it for you a little. So this is particularly a very, I would say, interesting and apt image. Okay, as you can see, there are okay, big enough. Okay, so here we have decided we have bifurcated the entire process of sprint planning into three categories, right? So basically, one is inputs, one is outputs, and one is actually sprint planning. So what happens during the sprint planning, and what is the input that is required? That is on the left hand side, and what should be the output? What should be the result of sprint planning? That is mentioned on the right hand side. Okay, so on the input side, what all three things that you can see? Tell me.
Product
Yes, can you?
backlog, latest increment,
Mhm.
and velocity or capacity of development team.
Yes, there are three important things. First and foremost is product backlog, like what all things we have, what all requirements we have in store to work for, right? As per client, customer demand or customer priority. First of all, that needs to be there. And who prepares product backlog, guys? Yeah, everyone.
Product owner,
Who prepares product
Product
backlog?
owner.
Yes, product owner. Perfect. So product owner is the person who is solely responsible for creating and managing product backlog. So we need to have a ready, you know, to be used, a ready to be used product backlog with us first foremost. And next, latest increment. So from that product backlog, we should have an idea that what are the items, as per priority or as per customer demand or as per the current discussion, what are the things that they want on urgently to be developed? Those will be called as latest increment. So we should know basically it's a sprint backlog. Okay. So sprint backlog has to be there. That is input. That's a part of product backlog. And last but not the least, velocity and capacity of development team. So in short, this means how much that particular team can work or can deliver during this given period of time. So on this topic, Gaurav has prepared a very in detailed and good video that I will ask him to share. I'll request him to share later that you can go through. That is for velocity and capacity of a team. So there you will get a detailed understanding of what does it actually mean. But in short, it means in this period of continuous sprint, like per se 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever our sprint duration is, in that sprint duration, how much work the team is able to complete effectively. The work can be, in the form of quality and quantity both. So, how many requirements can be completed? How many difficult or tough tasks or tough requirements can be undertaken? So that depends on the team's capacity and velocity. So basically, what is the team's strength? How many people we have? That is ensured the capacity, and velocity is basically how much amount of money will be how much amount of work will be completed during this period of time. Okay, so these are the things that are required, that should be known for the sprint planning discussion to happen. Okay, second is here, if you could see, I mean, this is really very interesting. Every I would say miniature worker or team member is shown different. One is with the pencil, one is with the book, one is with the certificate, one is with some tool, one is just weaving. They have apparently different hair color and different, I would say, a little bit difference in their attire. One is with the specs, one is with the cap. In short, what all they depict is that these are highly skilled and in variety of skilled people. Okay, so their skill set differs from each other. That's why one is with the book, one is with the tool, one is with the certificate, and one with the pencil. So see, everybody is different. Everybody with me on this? Are you able to understand what are we trying to show here? That every resource available in this team is differently, I would say, equipped as per their skills and knowledge, and I would say their background. Yes. And what will we do? We will be working on this project, or we will be working on these requirements. Okay. So in the sprint planning, we show that we have this many different qualities, filled team members, and they all, sorry, will be working on the requirements or on this sprint backlog. In short. Next point is, what are the outputs of the sprint? So what should this sprint give you? What are the outputs, guys? What is written here?
Sprint goal and sprint
First,
backlog.
absolutely right. So first and foremost is a sprint goal. What have we did? Yeah, it's give me a second. I'll sip some water. Yeah. So sprint goal and sprint backlog. Now, sprint goal, as we all know, it is, I would say, a target that we have committed the customer that we will achieve during this sprint. A target means it can be either a functionality, it can be either completion of certain percentage of work, it can be either working on their, I would say, critical requirement and trying to understand and trying to come up with plan. It can be anything and everything that the team has already committed to do. So, okay, that is our so we decided this sprint goal during the planning phase. Okay, so this is the outcome. And then last but not the least, what is a sprint backlog? So imagine, guys, please bear with me today. There's something with the season or something, but my throat has gone for a toss a little, but I'm really sorry for that. So I'm just declaring in the beginning. So what do we see here? We see that after this particular sprint planning is done, or this sprint has been completed, we will have a new sprint backlog. When I say new sprint backlog means, imagine we had 100 requirements before we started this sprint. Okay, this is just hypothetical, just for understanding purpose. So out of those 100 requirements for this particular sprint, we took 20 requirements. Okay, depending on team's capacity, velocity, availability, and we decided that our sprint goal will be achieving functionality after completing these 20 requirements. Okay, and when I do this, how many requirements are pending if I complete 20 out of 100?
80.
Absolutely right, right? So that would be my, apparently that would be my that would be the available for the next sprint. So that would be called as my sprint backlog. Okay. From that you can actually that, which honestly speaking, okay, it is not given in this format. It is basically means your sprint goal is delivered and your sprint backlog, what you had, I would say, committed, that is also delivered. And once you commit the sprint backlog, like you completed a 20 requirement, the remaining 80 would be the updated product backlog. Okay. So here this means is you give, you deliver your product backlog. Sorry, you deliver the sprint goal, what we had decided that we will deliver to the customer, and also we deliver the entire sprint backlog. So along with the specific functionality that we achieved, we also worked on other requirements, other 20 all total 20 requirements that are also delivered. So that's why it is in the results category. Everybody with me? Sorry, output category. Everybody with me on this? Any doubts in this screen? This image, easy to understand?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, simple, great. Now let us deep dive into understanding how the actual day-to-day working happens. Okay, now this is also, this looks very simple, but it is a very important and very practical image, and it's quite easy to understand. Okay, can I request a couple of you to look at this for a few seconds or few minutes and try to explain what it's trying to tell us? Yeah, just have a look. It's really easy. I want your thought process. I can definitely tell you and explain, which I will do. But before that, can you try to put this in your own words? Yeah.
Yeah, it is depicting the sprint methodology basically.
Can you
Having
please
inputs.
start from left to right? Yeah. And
Yeah,
the way we explained the earlier. Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah. So basically, as a part of inputs, it is considering product backlog and sprint backlog, which is nothing but the selected stories and their tasks. And this gets pulled in as inputs basically. And then the planning starts, the sprint planning starts, which is followed by the sprint implementation, the daily scrum, which is nothing but our daily scrum meetings or daily stand-ups. And followed by that, we have the sprint review, wherein we demonstrate the work to the external stakeholders. And then finally, the sprint retrospective, which is like, reflecting on the sprint and identifying areas for improvement. And finally, that leads us to build the completed product.
Thank you so much. That was quite very well put. Anybody else wants to try this? Suchita, Niti, want to add something to this? Ajibu? Suchita is not there. Niti, have you joined from three? Suchita is there. Three different machines? Because I could see three, Niti. Just out of curiosity.
No, I joined with two of them because
Okay.
the
No, I understand.
headphones are
I
not
was
working.
seeing three. That's why I asked you. That's okay. That's fine. Even that happens
Yeah.
with me. Okay. Anybody wants to add something here? Yes. Yes. No. Okay. So thank you so much, Abhishek. You're spot on. That is what it does. On the left hand side, we have all the entire product backlog. It is shown in the big boxes here, So these are the requirements that we need to work on for the entire period of the project, for the till the project is, uh, uh, you know, on, or till we are working on the project. It is live. Second, from this we take out some of the requirements that are product backlog. See, it's mentioned very clearly. Selected stories and their tasks. So we take out some stories and related requirements which we will be working on. Okay. Now the actual journey starts. Now these all, I would say, stages are stages of software development life cycle. Basic, there are many, but these are the most important ones. So what are these? Always remember this, guys. Planning, implementation. So basically in SDLC, it is planning, development, testing, and delivery. Here we have planning, implementation. Instead of testing, we have review. And last but not the least, we have retrospective. So can you guys repeat with me, guys? Please, once. Please unmute your machines, unmute your phones, or say planning. Yes.
Planning,
Implementation,
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 Implement, yeah,
review,
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 and retrospective.
and retrospective.
retrospective.
respect.
Yes, remember these things. I'm pretty sure yesterday we learned in detail about that, but it is very important because many times the interview questions are based on these understanding that, and if how well you are able to explain them, or do you know this concept, or have you understood these ceremonies, as well as they are the core of your working. Okay, So that's the reason you should know this. When we say implementation, from the implementation, one important factor or one important curve that we have is it is daily scrum. Okay. Can somebody tell me what is a daily scrum or what happens in a daily scrum? Anybody wants to try?
Yeah, basically, a daily scrum consists of um, a 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
worth of meeting, basically, wherein the team
Mm-hmm.
discusses what they worked on the previous day, what they are planning to work on that particular day, and any issues, obstacles, or impediments that the team might have.
Okay. You have given perfect explanation, except missing one on one crucial point. This is a 15 minutes meeting, absolutely right. But in this meeting, everybody
Stand up. Yeah, stands up.
stands. Yeah, stands. So that is why that is the main difference how this meeting is different from the other meetings, right? So this is a stand up meeting wherein we ensure that everybody is standing for this meeting. Okay, everybody is physically present and they are very much alert. And I'll advise you, instead of saying previous day or next day, always say earlier working 8 hours. Why we say this? Because when we meet on a Monday, we haven't worked on Sunday, right? So it's always say earlier working 8 hours and next working 8 hours. So that means whatever working days we have from I'm just trying to be politically correct, okay? It's fine. Nobody would put a gun on your head for this, but it's always, when you're giving interviews, when you use these terminologies, the interviewer, naturally will understand, okay, you have studied this or you know these concepts and you are, your understanding is on a deeper level, not on a superfluous level. Okay, so that's why. So yes, definitely. So we have all these stages of this implementation or the sprint happening, planning, and we learned about all of them yesterday. So these are uh, except implementation, planning, review, retrospective, and stand up. These are all ceremonies. Is implementation is the actual working, I would say, that happens, or actual implementation of or actual development of all the requirements which needs to be done. Okay, and the outcome of this entire process is completed product, and I would say a new updated product backlog. So what happens is, can you see the checked boxes? The boxes are checked means you have all the product, all the requirements, all the uh, functionally completed work or an application that you have ready with you, and that can be delivered to the customer. Okay, everybody with me on this? Yes.
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 Any doubts? It's more like a in detail division. And guys, one simple tip, or I would say very practical tip. When you are revising or when you are watching these videos, please take pictures of these images. Okay, why I'm saying pictures? Because even if you take these pictures of certain images and keep in your folder, and before going for any interview or any discussion, even just look at these images properly, thoroughly. And if you could explain these images, I mean, the important note would be also prepare while you're getting ready for the interview, utilizing this notes. So before getting into your interview, if you just look at this notes and hover to and revise in your mind that okay, these are the things, like because only keywords are mentioned here and you are expected to fill the details which you already know, right? We have been discussing in detail, we have given enough time. So what happens is, before you go to the interview, you see this image, you have the picture in your mind, so it is very easy to explain, to elaborate, and to speak about it. I particularly or personally believe that having images increases your memory by having only theory. Yes or no? What do you think? Do you have,
Yes,
do
yes,
you,
that's right.
Yes,
have you
yes,
experienced this? Yes.
yes.
Yeah, pictorial memory, so that's better. And then it's easy also. There's nothing that is very critical into this. So please take a picture when you're doing your revision, and have them in their different folder. So you will have topic wise image. That is the main reason why we have so many pictures in a presentation. Okay, cool. I just wanted to explain this. Now let us go to the next screen. Okay. Now we're trying to understand further what is a sprint in Scrum. So basically, we have already learned what happens in sprint, what happens, what is the actual implementation, what is the output, what is the result, but then try to understand what happens. So, can I request four of you to read one line, each line one by one?
Yeah, I can
Go
go ahead.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
What is sprint in Scrum? Time boxed iteration of a development cycle.
Mm-hmm. Next point. Anyone?
Broken projects into small and consistent time interval.
Right?
As short as few days and as long as 4 weeks.
Absolutely right. So we are saying the sprint can be of 1 week, that is 5 working days, or it can be as big as 4 weeks, right? That's a month. Mm-hmm.
Some call a sprint goal a project in itself due to start and finish record it gives.
Now this is a very practical and realistic statement. So we are saying because we have sprint start date and sprint end date, and we have objective, or we've decided what to deliver. This itself is or it can be treated as a project, small project. Basically it's a part of large project, but this is a project itself. So this entire sprint delivery. So coming back to the first point, it means time boxed iteration of a development cycle. Can anyone tell me here what does time box means? It's the answer, it's in that word only, time box.
It has a specific time period
Yes,
or a time frame.
absolutely right. So you have decided about that time period. When we say box, that means it is decided, it is confirmed that how much time you have to give. So you have a specific period of time that would be repeated again and again for this execution. Okay. So that is why it is mentioned time box iteration. Iteration means repeating again and again for of a development cycle. So to develop this particular requirements, we have a specific period of time, and this entire setup will keep happening again and again. You remember we studied when we said that okay, sprint duration cannot be changed throughout the project. Like in first sprint is of 4 weeks, second sprint of 2 weeks, then you have third sprint of 5 days. You remember we have studied that we can't do this. Yeah, you remember, you can say yes, no, then you can plainly say no.
Yes.
That's okay. Yes, what about others? Ajibu, Suchita, Niti. Do you remember this?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. So that's why it's time box, right? So nobody is in awe or they are in a pressure that, okay, we don't know how much time we have. We all know that, okay, if we have decided our sprint to be of per se 2 weeks or 4 weeks, that is going to be constant. That is going to be a standard duration. Okay. So that is why we stick to this duration and we complete our work in this time frame. That's why it is called as time boxed. Okay. First and foremost. Next is broken project into small and consistent time intervals. Honestly, this means same. This latter part means what we just explained. consistent time interval, yeah, similar same time intervals. So broken large project, so sorry, broken project into small. So we have a project that is gonna be for 1 year or 2 years. That's gonna be a big project. So we don't do everything at once. We break down that project. So in this project, we have I would say sprint of 4 weeks. So we have broken down that 2 years project into 1 month each. Everybody with me on this? So you're breaking down the project into smaller pieces. Okay. Easy to understand? Any doubt?
No,
Yes?
no, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Next point, as short as few days and as long as few weeks. Now we know this. It can be as short as 5 days, that is 1 week, and it can be as long as 4 weeks, that is 20 days. Okay. We count only weekdays or working days. Always remember, we don't count Saturday and Sunday because nobody works on that. It is not expected for you to work on that. Okay. Next point, can call a sprint goal a project in itself due to start and end. Yes. So we explain this as the sprint has a start and end date, and we have functionality to deliver. So when we complete this functionality and deliver it, it is itself. See, it's like a mini project. You know, you have a bigger project, and you have these mini projects which you work on during this period of time. So any doubt in this, guys? It's more of a revision of what we've learned already. Yeah, everybody good? Okay. Thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Let's move forward. Yes, it is also same. Now, I don't think so. I need to explain this further. So this is the sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. Here, let me enlarge this for you. So it says fixed length. Okay. Time box of up to a calendar month. Okay. When we say calendar month, it simply means 4 weeks. Okay. So never talk in terms of month. This is for explanation purpose. But when we say a month, that means 4 weeks. And in short, that actually means 20 working days. So start date, end date, that's the last point that we just discussed. This is your entire sprint. And may I request some of you, any one of you, these are like 3 points. So 1, 2, 3. Yes. One by one, can you please repeat this? It is basically a revision of what we learned. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can go ahead. Why fixed length or time box sprint? To balance between the need to release rapidly, allowing enough time to complete a useful amount of work in each sprint, and once an appropriate length is found, it typically stays the same.
Yes. So this is very well put, honestly speaking. This is what we are saying. The balance between the to balance between the need to release rapidly. So, Michael, you're unmuted and there's some sound coming from your end. Yeah, Michael, will you please go on mute?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So we are saying to balance between the need to release rapidly. So the entire purpose of this process is breaking down of projects into smaller units or mini projects is we have to deliver fast and that too with good quality. So that is why this smaller pieces which we are calling it as sprints. So that goes without saying. Next point is allowing enough time to complete a useful amount of work in each sprint. This is definitely an important point. So, not only that we have to deliver fast, that's why we are hurrying up, but we are ensuring that we are giving enough time to each and every person in the team for their work. So it's not that we are hurrying everyone that, okay, finish work, we have to. No, we are ensuring that, and by the way, all these things happens in sprint planning itself. Okay, we are not doing anything out of the box, or we are not doing anything that is not, I would say, okayed by the team. So once team okay said, okay, we will be able to finish our work within this period of time, we can finish or we will achieve this sprint goal. Yes, then we go ahead and freeze on the sprint goal. So in short, everybody has enough time to work on their, I would say, sprint goal, and that is how we decide the sprint goal. So last but not the least, which is very important. Once an appropriate length is found, typically it stays the same. So uh, now they're saying that once the length is found, but generally before we start any implementation, we decided, okay, our sprint would be of 2 weeks and 4 weeks, whatever it is, one specific amount of time, and that continues for a longer period of time. Okay, so that continues for your entire project duration. You don't get to change that in between. Yeah. Everybody with me on this? Any doubts?
No.
No? Easy? Super.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go forward. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the Scrum artifacts, or I would say the result of your sprint that comes out. Can I request all five of you to read it one by one? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
There are five people. Go ahead.
Scrum artifacts, product
Mm-hmm.
backlog,
Yes. Next
Sprint
person.
backlog,
Yes.
Increment,
Next. Next. In orange.
definition of done,
Absolutely right. Next point.
burn down
Last
chain,
one. Yes. So now here, I would say we all are aware of at least top 3 point. Yes. What is a product backlog? What is a sprint backlog? And what is the increment? Yes. Yes or no?
yes, yes.
Yes. Perfect. So when we complete all this, we come to this important concept of called as definition of done. Okay. Now, definition of done means when we declare that something is completed, or work is completed, that has to be, uh, I would say, absolutely correct. When I say absolutely correct means, see, many times what happens in real life also, uh, while we are working on requirements, or while we are working on some of the technical part, many times some requirements, they are not able to complete, or some of the work is incomplete, or there might be some glitch into that, maybe some bug into that. This can happen. It's in a real practical life. But what does definition of done? That is also called as DOD. Okay, it says that whenever we complete any work, we have to ensure that the details of that work is shared. Like, if you have a checklist, or if you have a list of your work item, that needs to be shared with the customer, and it has to be ensured that everything is complete. So when you ask a small child about, have you done your homework, and when they say yes, Like, imagine you ask a toddler, have you done your homework? And if they say yes, do you believe them and you go and check their textbook or notebook? What do you do?
Yes. Check them.
Yeah, check, right? Because you know that they are young and they are not mature enough to understand. So same way, nobody would come and check your day-to-day working. But when we say definition of done, that means my code is definitely tested by my peers or my supervisor. My code is has gone through all the unit testing, like, not only development, but the testing is also thoroughly done. There are no known or unknown bugs in the system. Okay. Regression testing, everything is completely done. And the documentation or whatever that is required during this period for this particular sprint, that is completed. And last but not the least, everybody is informed about whatever we have done. So in short, when we are working on something, that has to be completed entirely. There should not be anything that is pending. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now the next point, that is called as burn down chart. As the name suggests, you are kind of burning down, or you're kind of jotting down the things that have been completed. So it's basically a visual representation, or it can be like it can be viewed like a graph, wherein as you go further into your development or as you go further into your work, you get to see whatever, how much work you have completed. Burn down means how much of the work we have already completed, or how many already finished. So that is how it is. So this gives us a very good, I would say, understanding that okay, how much work is, like, for example, if you had 50 requirements and you completed 10 requirements, so you know that okay, 10 are complete, 40 are yet to be complete. So that is one thing. Then are we on speed or not? Like, we were supposed to finish 15 requirements, say during this sprint, and then we are still at the third requirement, then we have to speed up, or will we be able to complete? So basically it just shows where are we and what are we doing. So the speed, and also the count, if you are kind of lacking on the completion, so we have to speed up, or do we need to convey or update the sprint goal? So whatever things that you are doing, you can take decision on basis of burn down chart. Okay. I am pretty sure Gaurav would like to explain this in further, because he really has a very good and interesting way to explain this concept. So I'll just check with him. Gaurav, would you like to continue from here?
Yeah,
Are you
will,
there?
will. Yes.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, you're audible. Yeah, please
Okay.
continue. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'll share my screen. Yeah. All right. So I think the next one itself is dedicated towards the burn down chart. Yeah. So here the entire slide is given on burn down chart. So what Prerna said is right. So what do you read here? Can someone read this particular slide for me? Am I audible, guys? Please, your responses
Yes.
will confirm. Yeah. So could you please read this slide for
Sure.
me?
Sure. Burn down chart. What is a burn down chart in simple terms? A burn down chart is a graphical representation of the work and time remaining for the project's completion. It's a project management tool used to track what's left. A burn up chart, on the other hand, tracks the work already completed and can help motivate the team by displaying the progress made thus far.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for reading this out. So when we are talking about burn down chart and burn up chart, first understand why actually we need it. Okay. For the definition you already knew now. So these are the graphical representation, and in fact, you don't need to worry that how will I bring this burn down chart or burn up chart in visibility. So if you have a project management tool like ADO, Azure DevOps, or Jira, there are widgets into that, okay, that you can add as a burn down chart. But the whole idea is that burn down chart or burn up chart representation requires certain input. And what are those input that we need to decide well in advance? Okay, so these red line and blue line, what you are looking at, what exactly they are presenting, that also you need to understand very importantly. So what we are going to do is that before we continue over here, let's understand the simple burn down chart. Okay, how you are going to understand what exactly burn down chart means? It means that when we are talking about burn down, it talks about the moment we are looking at this word down, it means that it is talking about the left out. What this is going to talk about? What this is going to talk about?
Left out.
Yeah, left out what? Left out work. It
Oh,
means
yes.
work remaining, right? So it will talk about work remaining, okay? And burn up chart will talk about work completed. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, no? Yes,
Yes.
no? Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Everyone.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Left out work and completed work, that you need to remember. Now, when we are talking about burn up chart, so one thing you need to remember that most of the time when burn down chart are used and burn up chart are used. So as per my you know my historical experience, what I have seen in the industry, burn up chart is seen at release level. At what level? At
Release
what?
level.
Release.
Release level.
Release.
Yeah. See, imagine if there is a monthly release cycle. So at the release level, this is seen, this is checked by the seniors, and even Scrum Master presents it, the release burn up chart. And that's the reason the term release burn up chart is there. Okay. And when it comes to burn down chart, it is checked at sprint level. At what level?
Sprint level.
Sprint level. Okay. And that's the reason you will also hear the term sprint burn down chart. Okay. With me so far,
Okay.
everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you need to understand what goes inside. So in burn down chart, how, let's understand the artifact. The artifact says that initially you are having the product backlog. Yes or no? First, you get
Yes.
the
Yes.
product
Yes.
backlog, and these product backlog gets entry into the sprint planning, and there you what do? You give the input, and what you do that when whatever the PBIs are there, product backlog items are there, you break it down into multiple user story. Yes, each epic will have its user story. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and every user story will have its responsible person. It means there will be task parallel to it and subtask inside it. Okay, with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, subtask and task. What happens? Every single contributor, coder, architect, and testers, they will get assigned their work. Now, what happens when they are working? There are two indicators in the items. Items like you call them as a subtask, task, or just call them as a ticket. What are you going to call them as?
Ticket.
Ticket.
Tickets or candidate, whatever they are going to represent them. Okay, every ticket will have the two key ingredients as an input. One is called as duration. What it will be called as?
Duration.
Duration. And the another indicator which will be called as time log. Okay, it means that, say for example, one subtask under a user story is assigned to a coder, and it says that the total duration or commitment, the commitment he is making of 3 days. Okay, it means 24 hours. Okay, he might have chosen. Now every single day he is working on multiple tickets, and time logged goes around 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, right? This is how they are going to track every single ticket, how much time they are working into that. And the moment they will log the time, okay, the moment they will log the time against the duration, the time left or remaining, the time remaining will be visible into Jira or project management tool by default. Possible? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So here, while you are doing this, so initially burn down chart, when you will be adding as a widget, what happens is that it gives you two axes. Okay. Of course, every single axis, every single chart will have two axes. Okay. Okay. X axis and Y axis. You see it here, right? On the graph.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So X axis will define the sprint. What it will define? The
Sprint.
sprint. When we are talking about sprint, all the dates it will have in front of us. Okay. So weekly sprints, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Okay. What do you, and here on Y axis, it will define the user stories. Okay. Or say, in fact, not user story, story points, I would say. Okay. So every single day, how many story point of work has been completed, and it will be showing the remaining part. How it is going to show the remaining part, that I'm going to explain you. But one thing you understand, while it is tracking the user stories story point, what happens is that it won't be able to track if, say for example, because it is talking about the story point, right? And every single day here the dates are there, date is there, and here a story point. Okay, here the story point. What happens is that, say for example, if some coders are uh, doing certain activity at coding level and they are just entering the story point, the work left will not be visible during the initial level of the sprint until unless a concrete work is not done. See, everyone will be contributing, right? Coder will be coding, tester will be testing, but still some of the user story will not be completed. It won't be visible. However, in reality, work has been done or not by every single person. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone has contributed, right? But when it comes to use burn down chart, will I be able to track at initial level if I am tracking against the date the total contribution of story point done by my team? Will I be able
No.
to contribute? No, I won't be able to track that. Even if there is a bigger scope creep happens and my candidates, my team is contributing something, they are doing some work, it won't be visible at initial level. Then what should we do? So here is a trick. Here is a tactics. What you do is that, because you are going to be the Scrum Master, you will be changing the y-axis. You will be changing the y-axis from story point to the total
User
hours.
stories. Oh,
No,
okay.
turn them into hours. Okay. What will happen? How it will contribute then? Then whatever the work every single individual on every single date, when they are going to contribute, that will become visible. Okay. Are you with
Okay.
me so far, everyone? Now, one thing you need to understand, what is this red line and blue line? Blue line represents the ideal line. Blue line is the ideal line. Ideal line means that by this date, work should be completed. Okay, because blue line is ending here, right? And the red line represents the actual line. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah. So one thing you need to remember, if red line means actual line, if goes above the, if this line goes above the ideal line, it means that you are behind time, right? You see here, even if you will try to track it here, we were expected to complete the work by 14th November or 15th November. Okay, over here. But the red line has come towards the 16th November over here. It means that we are before time or ahead time. Tell me, are we? So expected was this, but actually what happened? We reached here. This is the date timeline. Okay, these are the dates. Okay, and these are the total hours. So we were expecting over here to be completed. Further dates, it has come here. Now you tell me, actual work has crossed the expected one. It means, are we ahead of time or behind time? Behind schedule,
Behind,
or
behind.
Behind time.
we are behind time. It means that if red line is above the
Blue line.
blue line, it means if the actual line is above the ideal line, it means that we are behind the schedule. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Yes.
But when this line, the red line, might have gone somewhere down. Okay, somewhere down. Let me clear it again and tell you. Say for example, from here it is coming down, here it is completing. This become the actual. Okay, so now I'm asking, if your red line or say actual line is below the blue line, it means the ideal line. When it is below, okay, we are ahead of time or behind time?
Ahead of time.
We are ahead of time. So remember, when ideal line is above the actual line, it means that we are behind time. And when your actual line is below the ideal line, it means we are ahead of time.
Right.
Clear? Any
Yes.
confusion into that?
No.
So this is how, just looking at the burn down chart, you may answer to the interviewer. What happens is that when you are going for the interview of the Scrum Master, excuse me, Scrum Master directly may present you the graph and tell me, now you tell me, this is the burn down chart. Are we ahead of time or behind of time? Okay, ahead of time or uh, below, ahead of time or behind schedule. Just mere by looking at it, you can tell, because you now know the hack is, when your blue line is above the red line, it means that we are, um, I mean, we are ahead of time. When your blue line is above, your blue line is the below red line, it means that we are behind the schedule. But when when it will match the exact line, the blue line, when actual line and ideal line both meets together, it means what?
We are on
We,
schedule. Exactly
we
on
are,
schedule.
yeah, we are on time, we are on schedule, we are on track. Is it clear, everyone? Yes,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in burn up chart, what happens is that there is also a third line. Okay, there is also a third line. Okay, the blue line will be called as actual. Uh, Sorry, blue line will be ideal. Red line will remain the actual. But there is a third line. What is this third line? This third line represents the scope. What it will represent?
Scope.
Scope.
Scope. And it will talk about the work completed. What it will talk about that?
Work completed.
Work completed. And here there will be dates again, and here will be the released items. Okay? Release story point. And this is how you are going to talk against the scope. Okay? And when you look at it, in what happens, these three lines, even in this burn up chart, what is going to happen is that here this is separately, because we are not targeting, or we are not tracking the remaining work. We are targeting or assessing the completed work. Here you will notice that if the red line is above the blue line, it means that we are ahead of time. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
If it will go below the blue line, it means we are behind the
Behind
schedule.
that. Yes.
And when it meets with the red or blue line, it means that we are on track again.
On time.
Yeah, with me
Yes.
so far? Understood?
Yes.
This red line, blue line, actual, ideal, as well as burn down and burn up chart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions so far, guys? Yes, no?
Yes.
No.
Okay. So now if I need to ask how now where you are going to use the burn down chart, tell me. Now you understood burn down chart, the purpose behind it. You will identify work remaining. Okay. Burn up chart, work completed. So where as a Scrum Master you think you should be using the burn down chart and burn up chart?
When
First tell me about
updating,
the Mhm.
yeah, for burn down chart, as a Scrum Master, you use it to as an information radiator to upper management to show them how much work is remaining to complete the
Mhm.
project.
Mhm.
And for
Okay.
the burn up chart, you would use that as an indicator to um stakeholders or upper management, sorry, or to your team members as a motivation that this
Mhm.
is the work that has already been completed so that everybody will be inspired and motivated to do more.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Ajibu. I still want to know from others. First, you tell me burn down chart. Where do you think you should be using the burn down chart? Anyone
Sprint level.
can. At
Sprint.
Suchita?
Yeah. Talk about left out work. Work
Hmm. But where you will be talking about it?
sprint level. Like
At sprint level, but where? As a Scrum Master, where you are going to use? How you
G
will use this? Tell me how you will use it. Why, how, and where?
For reporting purposes.
Okay, what sort of reporting? Mhm.
suggests
Could be a
su-
monthly report or something.
Okay, okay. I'm still only focusing on the burn down chart. I'm not asking about the burn up chart. Okay. Let me ask. Okay, Ajibu gave answer, Abhishek gave answer, Suchita gave answer. Uh, Michael, you can also try. Nithi, where do you think that you will be using burn down chart as a Scrum Master?
Daily stand-ups,
Yes, exactly. And why you will use in daily stand-up?
because it gives a clarity that where we are, and if any improvements are required in first week, we can do the changes.
Right, right.
And
Absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you, Nithi. So you understood everyone. The immediate use you can have in daily stand-up. Okay. Why your team is committing that how much work they have already completed, what is remaining, what they are going to do. One thing is that if you will go and study yourself, visit yourself, burn down chart, and then participate or facilitate the daily stand-up meeting, it will be quite easy to understand what your team members are speaking, whether they are aligned or not. Okay, whether the Jira board and your communication of your team members are into alignment or not. Okay, are is my team is entirely collaborating well or not? Okay, what they have talked about the dependency, even if you go deeper and try to assess the reason behind uh, the delays or something, if you'll dig deeper you will identify if any dependency is there, uncertainty is there, everything has been logged in Jira or in the project management or not. You are expecting what is going to be discussed inside the daily stand up meeting already, and then you are well prepared coming into the stand up, and then you facilitate this meeting. Understood where you are going to use burn down chart? Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are you going to use burn down chart sprint level weekly, monthly, or daily? When do you think?
Daily.
Week.
You can use it daily. You
Yeah.
can use
Yes.
it daily. But and at team level you can discuss. But when it comes to burn up chart, and I told you that you can more or less use at a release level, a release burn up chart, then this can be presented to the higher management and the stakeholder, to telling that how much work you have completed. And yeah, I mean, sometime in the retro, if you are already presenting this, team will get motivated and come up with the deeper level of collaboration and motivation. That is the objective. With me so far, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any question into it?
No.
Okay. If no question, let's move further. Okay. So there are 4 steps to create a burn down chart. It talks, estimate the work. I have already talked about estimated work. The burn down chart displays the work remaining to be completed in a specified time period. How you're going to do that? You will track in the daily progress, and when you are entering this into against every single ticket, and this is how it will get tracked when you add that as a widget. Okay, so estimate work. The burn down chart displays the work remaining to be completed in a specified time period. That is the step number 1. Step 2, estimate the remaining time. You don't need to estimate separately. It will calculate by itself if you give 2 input: one, total hours, okay, total duration, plus the work log, okay, the hours you logged already into the your daily work log. Yes, in every single ticket you are going to log whatever is assigned to you. Your team is going to log their time spent onto that. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant. Now the third step, it will um, estimate the ideal effort. Of course, if remaining is known, ideal effort that you are going to key in already, this total duration, and the daily progress you can see in the burn down chart. Okay, so if no question, let's move further. Okay, what you saw here, we are exactly not following. So these are indicator, these are just I mean indicators, nothing else. We are not in week 5, day 2, we are far ahead of it. Okay, we are just consider them as a placeholder. So we are going to discuss something different now. We will go a deeper level when it comes to this planning level. So let's understand and try to dig deeper the sprint planning. Okay, we have not done it at deeper level. So let's understand. I would like to invite someone to read the definition of sprint planning. Anyone? Yes.
Sprint planning is an event in the Scrum framework where the team determines the product backlog items they will work on during the sprint and discusses their initial plan for completing those product backlog items.
Right. So one thing you need to remember that there are few input. Okay, if sprint planning is the ceremony or event, it means that here you will be entering in this sprint planning meeting. You are entering with certain homework done, and one homework done talks about is that you are entering with the product backlog items. Okay, where you will be prioritizing it. So how you are going to prioritize? Who will prioritize this product backlog item? Who
Product
owns
owner.
it? Yes, you are right. And do you know what are the methods product owner will use to prioritize? Because sometime you as a Scrum Master need to take care of helping the product owner to prioritize these items. He may or she may not prioritize themselves. What you are going to do to prioritize that? How you are going to prioritize it? So do you know how product owner will prioritize this item? Yes,
Yeah, you
no?
can use Moscow.
Okay, you can use Moscow. Does everyone know what is the full form of Moscow?
Yeah.
Everyone knows? Yeah? Anyone who does not know? Suchita, Michael? Do you know, guys, what is full form of Moscow? Remember, yes or no? In BA's class, business analysis class, we have come across this. Sujita, waiting for your answer. Michael, waiting for your answer. Are you aware of the Moscow technique? I could not hear. Can you repeat, please? Michael, are you aware of Moscow?
Not really. Not really.
Oh, not really. Okay, fine. So, Suchita, what about you?
No.
Okay, fine. So, I would like to invite one person. Tell me, what do we mean by MO over here? Now, listen very closely. Abhishek, what do we mean by MO over here?
A must have.
Okay, so MO indicates must have. Okay, must have, and you will say how you are telling that must have. It is MO. Okay, we are taking it as a have. However, you understand this as a most wanted. Okay, so your MO stand for must have or most wanted. Okay, S, what it will indicate, Ajibu? S will,
Should
what it
have.
will indicate? Should have. S will talk about should have. Okay, and CO. What CO will indicate, Niti? In Moscow, what CO will indicate?
Should have.
CO.
Oh, could have.
Could have. Thank you. So it means that it will indicate could have. Okay. But now the W is most important. Okay. What W will indicate? Who can tell me?
Work.
Won't have.
Won't have. Yes, absolutely right. It means that there will be multiple items where you must be very much clear that what is most wanted is the priority number one that you are going to do. Okay. There are other techniques also. Okay. There are other, so there is a Kano analysis, there is a value mapping, there is a Moscow technique. So these are indicators. So there are several prioritization technique. You are using over here the Moscow technique for prioritizing your backlog item. Even in the Kano analysis, what do? You simply just give them the numbers that what is of the most priority and all. So there are several, prioritization technique, and you can tell that you can name them: value analysis, value mapping, as well as Kano analysis, and then Moscow. These are the few techniques. In my company, we use Moscow technique. And then you tell them if you are asked into the interview. This is how we coach or help product owner to prioritize the product backlog items. With me so far, everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
here
Yes.
you must be very much clear that where people fail to understand. The moment they give the answer must have, should have, could have, W goes as a would have. Okay, no. The simple answer for W should you should remember is won't have. You are clearly indicating and declaring that these are the few features we are not going to work upon. Maybe due to some constraint, maybe it is not readiness, maybe due to compatibility, and there could be n number of reasons for you not taking this up, or these are not right requirement, and this might have come as a based on assumption or guesswork. With me so far, and that's the reason you decided W for one tap. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Michael, Suchita, yeah, alignment, yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Now the second one, the second paragraph over here tells that team may find it helpful to establish a sprint goal and use that as the basis by which they determine which product backlog items they work on during the sprint. Okay. Now, one thing is very important is that uh, when we are talking about the input, so now in this input, what exactly happens is that you said that prioritize product backlog items comes in. Okay, not the entire items comes in. Now here just backlog item is epics are not entering. We are talking about the epics broken down into multiple user stories that we are taking into consideration to define our work. Okay, that we are going to take into consideration to define our work, as in that how much work we are going to commit, how much work in terms of user story we are going to commit, and what is the measurement unit for user story I have spoken in the past?
Story point.
Story point. So how much story point of work we are going to estimate. Okay, and that you are going to commit further again in the sprint planning meeting. Okay, and the purpose of sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that can be achieved. Now, what happens is that your team is going to talk about these user story. Now, every user story will have multiple tasks. Maybe your business analyst requires to do further analysis. Yes and no? Possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it will be called as A&D work, analysis and design work. Maybe design will be associated with your UX team. Okay. Only analysis with the BA team. Okay. Then comes the coder works. Okay. Wait a second. Yeah. Then comes the coders work. And then comes the tester works. Testers work. And everyone will be communicating their total effort, that how much story point they are going to give. Okay, however, I generally suggest that these kind of work you can do it when in the backlog refinement call itself. Okay, and then you come back and recommit into sprint planning meeting. Why you need to do it in backlog refinement call? Because it saves the time in the sprint planning meeting, right? Yes or no?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You are well prepared, well in advance, and then you are going to come back and commit over here in front of every single team member will be participating over here. So now, how that it will be achieved? Sprint planning is done in collaboration with the whole Scrum team. So in the sprint planning meeting, product backlog items are owned by product owner, and when you are giving the clarity on every single user story, it means that your sprint goal and sprint goal, now this product backlog items will be called as sprint backlog. What it will be called as?
Sprint backlog.
Sprint backlog. Now you tell me who owns the sprint backlog? Who will own the sprint backlog?
Development team.
Yeah, it's a development team. A product owner owns the product backlog, then sprint backlog will be owned by the development team, or call them as a product development team. Why we are calling them as a product development team? Any idea?
The updated Scrum guide.
Yes, Ajibu, you are absolutely right. So earlier, this coders or this team uh, were called as, this development team used to called as developers. With the recent update in Scrum Guide, or say expansion into the Scrum Guide that happened on 11th June 2025, now this team is called as no more developers, they are called as product development team. With me so far, everyone in alignment?
Yes.
Yeah? Are you learning something,
Yes.
everyone? Yeah. So, what the product owner describes the objective or goal, what exactly we are going to target of the sprint, and what backlog items contribute to that goal, and those backlog items will be further taken up into sprint backlog, and that becomes the sprint goal, where every single person will be ready to contribute into that. Any questions so far? Are we clear into the simple definition what exactly happens inside it? Everyone is clear? Suchita
Yes.
and
Yes.
Michael, Jibu,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, nice, fantastic. I know Ajibu is just repeating, he might be aware of. So we know that here who is involved in the sprint planning. So product owner will be there, entire team will be there, and the facilitator will be there. Who is the facilitator of the sprint planning meeting?
Scrum
Who will
Master.
be? Scrum Master. What they need to do? How they are going to facilitate? So you tell me, typical Scrum Master, when you are facilitating, where you what you guys should be listening to? Am I still audible, guys?
Yes.
Guys, yeah? So as a Scrum Master, where your eyes should be, where your ears should be, what you will be listening, what you will be focusing during this discussion in sprint planning. Because you're simple facilitator, okay? When you are doing the, so Scrum Master talks about the true leadership. True leadership, earlier it has been the part of the servant leadership. Okay, there's still few people try to refer to servant leadership, but now the Scrum guide, when it was changed in 2020, it talks about the true leadership. In fact, it is emphasized in 2025 on 11 June. It is, we are talking about true leadership. What leadership?
True leadership.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. True leadership. And everyone is participating. Everyone is with me so far. I'm talking to each one of you. Michael, Niti,
Yes.
Jibu, Abhishek, Suchita. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to give you the input because you did not answer me. When true leadership come, it means that you do the pre-preparatory work. Yes. No. Pre-preparatory work means everyone is participating, everyone is turn up, everyone is showing up, the time box is done, the meeting room is there in the place, whatever the sticky notes or on pens, papers are required, chair, conference room or web conferencing is required, everything is there in that location. um, Links have been shared with everyone. These pre-preparatory part has been taken care by Scrum Master. They ask the relevant team to arrange such items if they themselves cannot do that, stationery and all whatever. So they will ensure that admin department is helping them to arrange these all items. That's number one. Number two is that during what you are going to do, are you going to just listen to it? What is being discussed? What you are trying to, where your focus will go during the sprint planning meeting as a Scrum Master? Can someone think and answer me? What you will do during the meeting? What you will be doing, guys? And the answer is to all of you. Niti, Ajibu, Michael, Suchita, Abhishek.
Prioritizing the sprint backlog.
Can you repeat what you said, Abhishek? I could not hear well.
Yeah, prioritizing the sprint backlog.
Prioritizing the sprint backlog. Okay, what else? Where your focus would be? Niti, Michael, Ajibu, Suchita.
Yes, sprint
Ensuring that the Scrum principles are being followed.
Okay, what else? What else? And everyone has to answer, not just Abhishek.
All
Abhishek,
the
you
stories, all the user stories are pointers are given the appropriate points as per
okay.
the t-shirt sizing.
Okay, so as per the planning method, it has been defined the complexity or it has defined its own estimation. That is one thing. Okay, so generally, if we are doing this in backlog refinement, we are well prepared with that. What else this guy will define or identify?
Ensure discussions are effective.
Okay, discussions are effective, of course. No ambiguity is left out. Okay, no ambiguous question or ambiguity is left out. Plus, is there any dependency left? Okay, is there still any uncertainty is pointed? Are we still talking? Are we still with the risk? Any risk identified? He will be also focusing if any potential impediment or threats are budding up or not. Okay, when they identify, he will talk about these pointers during the sprint planning meeting, throw on the table and let the team discuss about it, take a note around it, and make sure that the Confluence page or whatever the relevant discussion page is there, it gets updated accordingly so that everyone is there on the same page. With me so far, everyone? Yes?
Yes.
So if they need to maintain any RAID log, and what is RAID log? Who can tell me?
Yeah, it's a
What is RAID?
document that is used during the specific sprint that lists down the risks, assumptions, issues, and dependencies.
Yes, absolutely right. So you can maintain a grid, you can maintain a spreadsheet, you can maintain a document where you can take a note of any risk, assumption, issues, or dependencies. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Learning something, everyone, and within the same line and alignment and getting the depth of it, everyone. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't want to go ahead at more deeper level, because what I am thinking that whatever we have discussed so far has been really fruitful and really enlightening so far, because we have entered into the depth of the sprint planning. Let me hear out from you that what one word you feel like saying. So let me hear out from Michael first. Michael, one word from your end. What do you feel like saying? Understood? Not understood?
Well understood, sir.
Okay, you understood everything. Okay, thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
Let's hear from Suchita. Suchita, one word. What do you feel like saying?
Understood
That's
depth of knowledge.
okay. Depth of knowledge. Thank you so much, Abhishek. What do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was
One word.
elaborate and well paced. So thank you for
Okay,
that.
thank you, Abhishek. Ajibu, what do you feel like saying? One word.
Informative.
Informative. Thank you so much, Niti. What do you feel like saying? One word. Connecting, losing, aligning.
Aligning.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So, guys, we are going to talk again soon in the detail in the coming week. And I would still request, if you have not watched the first video which has talked about said and unsaid assignment, please buckle up to submit them, because in the coming week, we are going to see one more said assignment that you need to submit. Okay, thank you so much. Till then, I wish you all happy weekend and good night, everyone. Bye bye. Thank you.